Hi team, my name is Anup Navrekar and today I'm going to talk about what is Docker in this video. And before I start, what is Docker? Let's get into something why Dockers are required. So let's imagine this environment of a development team. So we are all are either developers or testers or operations team to deploy the application, right? So what do we guys do? We work with software, we work with application code. So a developer is supposed to develop an application. So this is a life cycle of a software development life cycle. So basically a developer will develop an application or develop a code on a certain environment, and then it will provide that particular code or application to a testing team. The testing team test the application for any errors that are there in that particular application code, and if there are any errors, obviously the application is then sent back to the development team, or else if it is bug free, then obviously it is given to the operations team to be deployed on prod systems. Now this is a typical life cycle of a software development company. All the companies follow this process. There could be some minor changes here and there with the methodology of a software development life cycle, but this is the major process. Now, in this scenario, the problems occur when a developer develops a particular code on his environment. Let's say his environment is built on a particular hardware. He has deployed an operating system. He has downloaded some packages based on the operating system version, downloaded some libraries or dependencies, and then developed a particular application. Now, when this particular application gets ready and the developer ships out this application to a testing team, the testing team will test out this particular application on their own machines. There could be issues, because there could be errors because the testing team could say that boss, your code is not working, or the code is not working in their laptops because their environment could be different. So what the development team does is they also ship out the jar files. They ship out the libraries bins made into a jar file and provide it to the testing team. Now the testing team tries to test out the application with the available binaries and libraries and dependencies provided by the development team. Maybe the application could run, maybe again there could be errors because there could be version changes, there could be OS dependencies and a lot other factors, right? So the environment that is available at the testing team could be a little bit different than the environment that the code has been developed on, right? So there could be always a blame game saying that boss, my code is working on my machine but it's not working on your machine. So the problem is not with the code, the problem is with the machine. So those kind of issues could crop up, and that's those issues are obviously not healthy in a office environment. So now to resolve all these issues, we had something called as the hypervisor. Now what did hypervisor do was basically you had x86 hardware, you installed maybe a hypervisor, type 1 hypervisor or type 2 hypervisor, maybe like VMware ESXi, and then created VMs, created virtual machine, and each virtual machine had their own guest operating system. Now the developer who's sitting out there would develop his application on that particular guest operating system. All his dependencies, his libraries would be based on that particular guest operating system, right? Now the best way for him to eliminate any kind of errors at a testing stage was obviously give that complete virtual machine image to the testing team and say, boss, here is your image, now test out that particular application with all this dependency and the operating system and get on with it. That could have solved the problem, right? Now you have the code, you have the dependencies, you have everything, you have all the services along with the operating system, so you can obviously test out the application without errors and put it out on the product systems. But is that the most efficient way of doing things? Maybe no, because I see there are three problems in this particular approach. The first problem is obviously the virtual machines are resource heavy. So each and every virtual machine would utilize certain amount of RAM, CPU and hard disk space, where not all that particular resources would get utilized by a small application that has been developed by a developer. And second problem that I see is if a particular host machine has various applications that are getting developed and there are various virtual machines created, so each virtual machine is having its own guest operating system. So imagine if that particular guest operating system is a Windows or any distribution of Linux, so you will have a lot of licensing hazards, in this particular scenario, right? So cost is also a major factor. The third problem that I see is obviously the time to boot up for this virtual machines. So the virtual machines take their own sweet time depending on the operating system that is available with that virtual machine. So that itself is another hurdle. So because of all these problems, then there came a technology called as containers. Now containers are basically lightweight virtualization technologies. So it is nothing but it is like a virtual machine, but it is much more lightweight, where a container is not dependent on the guest operating system. So container as such will not have its own operating system. So a developer who is developing an application, what he will have is he will have a x86 hardware, and he will have a Linux OS kernel on it. On top of Linux OS kernel, he will deploy a Docker engine. Docker engine will then create various containers for his application. Now, the developer who is going to develop a particular application, he'll just create a Docker file, and he will create an image of his application using the various images that are available on Docker Hub registry. So you can just use those images and create a complete application and run that particular image as a runtime instance called as a container on his machine. So a Docker container is just a package of application along with the various binaries and dependencies that are required to run that particular set of applications, right? So you will have this particular images and you will ship it out to your testing team or to your production team, and you will see that you will not have any issues that were faced earlier, like there are no errors, because now you're going to ship out the complete code along with the OS dependencies or libraries or anything, right? So that's the beauty of containers. Plus it is lightweight, it is not resource hungry, and it does not take time to boot up just like virtual machine, because it is completely OS free. So there is no guest operating system for each and every container. It is all dependent on one single Linux OS kernel for the containers. So that's a brief on Dockers. Stay tuned.